Hi folks, today I can really share breaking news because Sigma is going to announce not one but two world's first lenses, which means lenses that nobody has done ever before, and they are coming very soon. One is Extreme Bokeh King, so if you are a bokeh lover, this is the lens you want to get. And also the other one is an Extreme Travel Zoom lens, so a zoom that really can do it all. And this is an exclusive news I share here as first on this YouTube channel and on sonyalpha.com and rumors.com and my other rumor websites. Nobody on all the web, on all the YouTube channels ever talked about those lenses, so I'm the first. And before we share all the specs of those lenses, I would take a minute time to kindly remind you to first of all like this video to help me YouTube algorithm, because after this video many will copy my news, and I still have only a small channel that is growing, but liking this video helped me to keep me on the YouTube algorithm on top. And the second request, of course, if you don't want to miss any of the exclusive news and leaks that are coming now in the next weeks, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button to not miss any of the upcoming videos. So let's kick off with a private note. I was in the Pyrenees for a month and now I'm back in Italy since yesterday. It's still 39 degrees, it's super hot here in Central and Southern Europe, and I'm not going outside today for sure. I will work on rumors. I'm working on those Sigma rumors and they're really hot, so every hour I keep receiving info, and likely after this video goes online I will have more info going online on my website. And also I will put some pinned comments in the description box below this YouTube video so that you can get the updates there if there are some more info about the pricing, which I still don't have, or some additional info that I'm still missing as of now. Okay, but first let's make some order because we have plenty of Sigma lenses coming. There are 5 Sigma lenses in total coming. 2 are confirmed to be announced on August 19. While the other 3 lenses are likely to be announced or teased on August 19 or in a 2nd September event. So all 5 lenses are coming pretty soon. So the lenses coming for sure next week, August 19, are the 200mm 2.0 for Sony E and Leica L-mount full frame cameras. Then we have the 12mm 1.4 APS-C lens for the LE, Z, RF and X-mount. Okay, I think I have them all, so I already leaked the images and specs of those lenses. They are confirmed to come next week on August 19 and they're exciting lenses. I also leaked the image of the 35mm 1.2 2nd generation lens, full frame lens, autofocus lens for the Sony E and Leica L-mount. No confirmation if this will be announced on August 19 or not. I leaked the image, so I guess it's coming pretty soon. Think it's like August 19, but yeah, this lens I still don't know if it's coming next week. And what I'm sharing exclusively for you today is the info about 2 more full frame lenses, and both are unique, so lenses never done by any other manufacturer before. Let's kick off with the super exciting Bokeh King, the new Bokeh King. So the one that you have to buy if you want to have that super creamy look or some special portrait, then this is one that should be higher on your priority list, because we are getting, drum rolling, a new Sigma 135 1.4 full frame autofocus lens for the Sony E and Leica L-mount cameras. This is a lens never seen before. We saw something similar from Leica, L-mount at 135 1.4, but this is not a full frame lens. It's made for cine camera, Super 35, so it's not quite there yet. And we also saw a Chinese lens made by G Optics, and this lens was made for different mounts and still sells for $3,000. But this lens is manual focus only, and optically also not really great, and also quite the giant lens, so really not useful to use, and it actually didn't sell in big numbers. But this is going to be a high quality lens with autofocus and with extreme cool bokeh, unlike that Chinese lens that really didn't give you that nice bokeh. So then you wonder, what's the difference between using an 85mm and 135mm lens? Actually, I forgot to mention that Sigma once made a 105 1.4 lens, so something in between. This was a lens made for all the DSLR series from Sigma, Canon and Nikon. It was an excellent lens and really loved by the photo communities. This is the only lens that really comes close to the 135, so you can check out all the reviews of this lens. That still is a super great lens, but not available yet for as native mirrorless option. And this was quite a big lens, but optically really great and a great bokeh. And 135 really brings it a step further. So the first difference you have to understand between the 85, 105 and 135mm is that the depth of field, so the part that is in focus on your image, is quite narrow on the 135. So if your subject is at 3 meter distance and you shoot at 1.4 with all three lenses, on the 85mm you have a 9.8 centimeter depth of field, on the 105mm you have 6.4 centimeter, on the 135 you have 3.8 centimeter. So the 135 compared to a classic 85 1.4 gives you nearly 1/3 only of depth of field, which means you have much more out of focus part in your image, much more pronounced bokeh. And so if extreme bokeh is something you want, this is a lens you should highly consider. I am using always a 50mm 1.05 lens to get that extreme bokeh, and I also like to be particularly near to the subject to have that feeling of intimacy. That's something that I use for my work, and I also love manual focusing because I'm more a creative guy. I want to choose where the focus is and not, oh, I don't need it always on the eye and something like this. That's why I shoot with this 50 1.0, also because it's quite compact compared to an autofocus lens. But 135 gives you an advantage over a lens like this 50 or 85 is also that you can have more distance from the subject. Sometimes you don't want to be as close or intimate with the person you're shooting, taking a portrait of. 135, you can be a couple of steps more away and shoot a nice image of a person without being very close and still get that extreme bokeh you're looking for. So in that case, there's an advantage. So the first advantage is that you have more extreme bokeh if the subject is at the same distance. But with the 135, you can also be more farther away and, for example, in a situation where you cannot be close or you don't want to be close, still get that extreme bokeh. So that's quite useful and unique. And I think, for example, for wedding shooters or people that are working with lenses that need to give you some kind of cool bokeh, this lens should be high on their priority list. The third advantage is that with a more telephoto lens, even if the background behind your subject is not far away, you can still blur it out compared to an 85mm lens. So it's easier to get an image with a nice bokeh on a 135 compared to an 85. The fourth advantage, which I made up in my mind, so I think there's an advantage, but let me know in the comment system if you agree with that, is that moving from 85 to 135, 135 brings you closer to a tailored territory like a 150 or 200mm lens that is often used in sports photography or indoor photography, and 135 is probably not really as close enough as you want, but you have two advantages. You can get a much more light with the 135. So for example, in low light conditions, concerts, indoor sports photography, sometimes you have that 1.4 compared to 200mm 2.0 that is coming out from Sigma, or also from Laowa there is a 200 2.0 coming. You still have much more light gathering capability. The second advantage is you can use much faster shutter speed on a 1.4 lens. So that's also useful in sports photography. So I can see the 135 1.4 entering also that market, if you can live with the fact that you cannot be really that close, but if you're using a high resolution camera, you are likely to be able to crop in 135 per 1.5. So in APS-C mode is 200mm, and you don't need, for example, if you have a camera like a 50 megapixel Sony A1 or a Sony A7R5, often you don't need the full resolution. 25 megapixel is good enough for those situations. So I can still see a chance also for this lens becoming popular, not only among portrait shooters, wedding photographers and so forth, but also among sports photographers. And yeah, that's something intriguing. So what's the only disadvantage I see on this lens as of yet? So of course we don't have the real images of the lens yet, so we don't know how it looks, and also we don't know how it will perform, so we still have to see if Sigma will promise us to give us the ultimate bokeh lens without sacrificing some sort of other image quality like sharpness if we want it and so forth. But the one thing I know for sure is that trusted sources told me that this lens is quite big and heavy. So this is not going to be an easy to carry lens like the 85 1.4 from Sony. This is going to be quite a bigger lens. So that's a disadvantage. I still don't have the info about the pricing, but knowing Sigma, I expect the pricing to still be reasonable. But in the next hours and days, I will get more info about this lens soon, hopefully also an image. So as soon as I have that info and that image, I will make a new video. So again, subscribe to the channel. And one more thing, if you have some more info about this lens and also about the next lens, the travel zoom lens that I'm going to talk about next, then contact me using the email address and contact form here. Also share any info about any manufacturer, also the upcoming announcement Hasselblad on August 26th. So now let's move on to the second unique lens coming from Sigma. And as you might know, if you follow my channel, I have the Tamron 28 200mm lens, which I use for my hiking shooting, because I do a lot of hiking on the Alps, also mountain biking, ski touring and so forth. I like this lens because it's lightweight and you cover quite a lot. The only shortcoming is that 28, yes, sometimes I wish I could have a wider opening so that I can shoot also some more wide angle images when I'm traveling around. But yeah, Sigma is going to answer my request because Sigma is doing something nobody has ever done before. They will also announce a new 20 to 200mm full frame travel zoom lens. I don't have the info of the aperture as of yet, but it should be, I guess, something like 3.5, 6.3, just a guess, but so know that this is not a rumor or a confirmation yet. And 20 to 200mm is basically a lens that can do it all in those modern times. Usually in the past we saw something like a 24 and 200mm lens, but 20 to 200mm is completely something different. And basically this is the one lens you want to carry with you when travel because you can shoot everything that you need to shoot today if you are an influencer creator or work on social networks, because basically 200mm is enough reach to take some nice daily shots. 24 is perfect for wide angle, and 20mm gives you the ability to even make some selfie videos or create some content by holding the camera and the lens and shooting yourself. 20mm starts to be okay. I prefer 60mm, but 20mm is really something that you can use. So the one lens that does it all. I don't have info about the size of the lens, which I'm afraid will be much more bigger than the Tamron 28 200mm lens. So this could be a deal breaker for me because I need to travel like when I'm hiking. So hopefully also in the next hours and days I will get some info and images of this lens, and then I will share it on this channel. That's really it for now. And again, keep in mind in the next weeks the pace of rumor sharing and videos on this channel will increase because of course there are announcements coming also from Nikon, Canon, ON Digital, Lumix and so forth. So I'm working on those, and as soon as I can share some reliable rumors, I will make new videos. So again, like this video to help me YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and I see you very soon.